We are here in Surrey Hills in Sydney. It's been a day of Test cricket on fast forward, not because of choice but by necessity, because that's the kind of day that we have had on day two of the final Test between India and Australia. Uh, the summary of it is that Australia all out for 181, India 141 for 6 at stumps, and India have a lead by 145, and they would like to extend it as much as possible. Hello and welcome to this episode of Diary from Down Under, and we will break it down. The biggest news of the day is, of course, Jasprit Bumrah, who walked off the field after bowling 10 overs. He took 2 wickets, but he didn't come back on the field till stumps. He was out of the premises for more than 2.5 hours. He went for a scan. We were told that he has had back spasms and the medical team is monitoring him. And at this point, it's not sure if he'll bowl in the second innings or not. But the side story of that is that it is the worst fear that came through. Bumrah has been carrying India's workload throughout the series. He's taken more than 30 wickets. How well is he going to cope, and whether he'll break down or not? How the rest of the team is going to cope in his absence? But Prasidh Krishna stepped up, Mohammad Siraj stepped up. Both of them took 3 wickets each, and so did Nitish Reddy, who took 2. And they all chipped in. And Prasidh Krishna playing his first match in a really long time after coming off a long injury layoff. He did not start well. He went back during the lunch break, sat down with the team analyst, looked at his lines, and pulled it a little bit according to the pitch, the way it was behaving, and then got it right. He removed Steve Smith. He came back and got rid of Alex Carey, and in the end, Australia were all out for 181. Very slender lead for India, but they've seen enough to know the only way to survive on this pitch was going all out attack. And SSV Jaiswal hit 14 runs of the first over from Mitchell Stark. That set the tone. They all got out to Scott Boland, obviously, because Boland is a box on the fifth stump line. He's going to keep hitting it all day, and he got rid of KL Rahul, he got rid of SSV Jaiswal, and he got rid of course, Virat Kohli. A fifth time in Test cricket, fourth time this series. Kohli the same. It's a repeat of the first inning dismissal, fending off outside of the off stump on his toes. He's probably played his last innings in this country, last Test innings in Australia, and he got the applause as he walked off the field as well. But he was disappointed because there is a lot on the line, including his place 5 months down under. But he did a lot more before. When Bumrah walked off the field, Gill was moving around the field. Gill was captain. It seemed like Gill was captaining, but soon Virat Kohli took over. He was charged up, and the energy was contagious, and it was picked up by the other players as well. They were ready with the plans. They executed it to perfection, and they made sure Australia did not get away with it. But in the batting department, it seemed like nobody could take on Scott Boland. He had taken 3 wickets, and in came Rishabh Pant, who had gone into an ultra defensive mode on day one, and it was his way of saying, "You guys, you know what? If you want me to bat the way I did, I can do that, but I can also do something else." Then what did he do? On the first ball he faced, he charged at Boland and hit him into the stands. He went on for another 32 balls, scored 61 runs. Not a bowler was bad. Pat Cummins, Richard Stark, Bo Webster, everybody was hit across the park. It was madness, so much that Australia actually expected it. Andrew McDonald, the head coach of Australian team, said that they were surprised by Pant's approach on day one, but not what he did on day two. 61 runs from 33 balls, a mad innings that made sure India were not sulking, they were not going into a shell, and they remained in control of the game, at least stay alive in the contest. Once he got out, Washington Sundar and Jadeja saw through the rest of the day. But the biggest news of the day was, of course, Jasprit Bumrah walking off the field. He had back spasm. We are not clear how much he's going to bowl in the second innings, if he ever will. But what a series it's been. From the press box, we've been talking about, can we have just one normal day? But no. This has been a series that's gone through its ups and downs, and we're here on day 3, expecting the day 3 should end on day 3 and not necessarily go to day 4. But this is what it has come to. The series is still alive. If India wins, they retain the border Gavaskar trophy, and Australia wins, they beat India for the first time in a Test series in over a decade. 15 wickets fell on day 2, and the another 14 may be expected on day 3. India have to take 10, Australia have to take 4. 145 might not be enough. India would want to extend it as much as possible, at least close to 200. Will they be able to? It's not going to be easy. But a lot ahead. Another fast forward day of Test cricket ahead of us. But for now, the news from day 2 is Jasprit Bumrah has back spasm, and we are in for a ride. Day 3 of the Test match.